Thank you, Sultan, and thank you, Claude, for setting up our presentation beautifully. I'm Helen, this is my colleague Viv, and we are the international arm of a UK-based charity called Youth Sport Trust. I think, like everybody in the room, we are absolutely passionate about the power of physical activity and sport to change and improve young people's lives. And whether we're working internationally or in the UK, our mission remains the same. We work very carefully to try and target the Sustainable Development Goals using physical activity and sport to tackle inequalities, to improve health and well-being, and to improve education. Our presentation today talks in more detail about the label that Claude introduced. And we really want to focus on how can we reward and recognise schools for delivering high quality physical activity, physical education and school sport. But we've been very static for a long time. So I think we should pass over to Viv now, and she's going to get us active before we go into any more detail.
Okay, do you want to stand up, please, first of all? If you can stand up.
Do I just press it?
Not yet. Okay, we need, don't worry, your microphone, mine's not working. We need to prepare. We're going to do some Olympic activity. So we need to get our bodies ready. So can we just do some neck rolls, first of all? And the other way. And some nice shoulder rolls. Fantastic. And forward. And some body twists. And nice arm swings. Mind the people behind you. Fantastic. Okay, I think you're nearly ready. Take a seat and put your hands out on the chair in front of you. Like this. Okay. All you have to do is use your whole body and follow the movements on the screen.
Go ahead.
Are you ready? Make sure you take the bends. Well done. At least you can go back and say you've completed your first practice bobsleigh run. We all know the reasons why, and I'd just like to highlight a couple that have become particularly prevalent in Europe and were pretty common across the countries working on this project. First of all is mental health. There's an increasing body of evidence that the pressures the young people are facing are leading to stress, mental health, and mental uncomfortable behavior. We've got big images here around girls, and we have a lot of problems with body image of both boys and girls, and that's leading to inactivity because they're too embarrassed to do it. And then we have community cohesion issues, engagement of young people with different groups because of refugees. All the other ones I know lots of presenters have talked about over the last day and a half, but these were other ones that we were particularly concerned about when we started to think about the label. The whys are there. We know if we get it right and it's high quality, and that's something we're particularly passionate about in this program. It's not just the provision, it's about the high quality. We'll get all those improvements we want. And we were particularly keen in devising this particular label, not just to look at the physical, but the social development of young people, how they interact with each other, how confidence grows, and their emotional well-being. And we know that if we get all of that right, it leads to all the things that you will see on the left-hand side. So just picking up again and reiterating, because I think it's really important on what Claude said, we really want to try and support the improvement, not just of the quantity, but the quality of physical activity programs. We want to use the label so that schools, and if you're in a school or you work with a school, you can reflect on what's happening for young people. You can use what this label will offer to benchmark yourselves and your young people and present your case to move forward. And we really want to increase the participation of pupils in programs across the European Union. And again, Claude mentioned one or two to you, and particularly the European School Sport Day. So we see this label making an active connection to other things schools might be involved in. The final two, really I want to pick up on, and again, Claude mentioned them. It's really important that the label is not just a recognition of success, which is important, but also that by using the tool available, you can identify areas for development. Interestingly, I was talking to a colleague yesterday who said, I know we do good things, I'm not sure what we need to do to get better. And we're hoping that with what we've put together, there will be some support for you to identify clearly where you can move from good to great in your provision and what you provide for young people.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about the why we think there is a need for a label. And right now, I want to say that part of the things we've been discussing as the member group is label the right word? So we're dropping label, and this is going to be an award for schools. So I'm just going to take you quickly through the milestones and then spend a little bit of time sharing some of the pain, really, to be honest, because this has not been an easy task at all. And I'd pick up on what Magnus says. You have to really believe in it, because I think there have been times when we've met from 9 till 7 in the evening and then continued long into the bar, because it's not easy to create something that will work across 28 different countries in Europe and ultimately do as we hope and go beyond. And then we're not quite ready to launch the award yet, but we will need your help, which is why we want to tell you about it today. We want to talk to you about the future and when it will be ready and how you can get involved. So, the partnership has been a mix of different partners from different countries, very ably led by the Hungarian School Sport Federation, and brought together a mix of experience and knowledge from grassroots organisations who work with schools, from academic departments within universities. You've heard Claude's presentation and the immense knowledge there. It's been great to have Slovenia on board, because it's clearly Slovenia's doing something right that maybe the rest of us aren't. And it's been a real partnership, and as Zoltan has said, there's been some great collaboration. So, this all began back in January 2018. I think we all met in a room in Wembley Stadium in the UK, And I think that was when we first recognised the enormity of the challenge. How were we actually going to do something that would be relevant for schools across Europe, then go beyond, when we've got different education systems, different curricula, different languages, different understandings of the words physical activity, physical education, and school sport. So it was pretty much a gargantuan task. But essentially, where we've been going through regular meetings, collaboration, is we've undertaken a lot of research. What else is out there that we can learn from? We've tried to create a very simple framework for an award that will resonate with schools. What's been really, really important is that within each country that's been represented in the partnership, we've consulted with schools in those countries. And I'm delighted that there are representatives here today from those schools who've helped us through the process. We may not have got it right, I'm sure that we haven't, but we feel that we've reached a stage where we've got a process now that can work with schools, help them to assess where they are at in terms of their provision relating to the 3 dimensions that Claude talked about: physical activity, physical education, and school sport. We want schools to take part, we want schools to learn from the process. This is not about rewarding good practice and chucking out bad practice. This is about taking schools on a journey, linking them, helping them to collaborate. So what we are going to be launching, it will happen early in the new year. It will be something called the Moving Schools Award, and we are announcing that today. We hope you will all want to take part. As I've already mentioned, it really hasn't been an easy task, and I think we recognise that there may well be further improvements that need to be made along the way. But what unites us, and what I hope you will all be part of, is recognising that this is something that can benefit teachers, can benefit schools, and ultimately can benefit the young people that we work with. So we really want to create a Europe-wide movement of moving schools. And I think there's been quite a bit of reference already to the European School Sport Day and how that is a source of inspiration, because that is an initiative of another European Erasmus Plus funded project, which has really grown year on year and is getting more and more schools involved and is actually starting to go global. So I think when we've had our dark moments, that's when we've really taken inspiration from sport and reminded ourselves that actually this may be challenging, but it is something that we really can achieve. And there's nothing that isn't impossible if you really set your mind to it. Nothing that is impossible if you really set your mind to it. So we're looking to the future now. As I've said, this will be launched in early 2020. We hope you will all get involved. We hope you will want to promote it in your country. So Viv.
Yeah, so the final thing from me is we're creating this movement across Europe. We're really keen that you join us on the journey. And when Helen and I were talking last night, we talked a lot about what we've learned from being part of this partnership, what we've gained from it. Not just knowledge and experience, but we've gained what I would consider strong friendships. And we were talking about why did we go through the pain? And one of the things that resonates with me very clearly is this. A country can have whatever economic position in the world it wants, whatever it strives to get, whatever it aspires to get. And we measure our countries in all sorts of GDP measurements, etc., etc. But the one thing we all have, the most important resource we have to help our country grow, is our young people. The young people are the greatest resource any country can have. And if we don't invest in them and help them grow, then the economic survival of our countries is not going to happen. So once January comes and early New Year, please, please join us in this new Moving Schools Award. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Helen and Viv. If it's all right with you, I would like to start the questions because Viv, as probably some of you don't know, Viv works all over the world, from the Middle East to Far East, and or even in Africa and whatever. And I wanted to ask you that, as you mentioned, the young people are the resource. What is right now that motivates children or motivates young people to get involved, to your experience? Why do they involve? What is the surrounding? What is the environment that they are involved in most likely?
They just need the opportunity.
Yeah.
They just need the opportunity, whatever that is, whether it's a space to play, a kind person that volunteers to do things for them, an exciting thing to do, a piece of paper to play with, a rock, whatever. If we remove the barriers and provide the opportunities, whatever those are, kids will play.
Thank you, because this really reflects good on the morning, one of the morning presenters, Daryl Edwards' message that if we provide space and time to play, they will play. And this opportunity that I can be as a principal or a physical education teacher, I can be sure that if I provide these opportunities, it's going to be utilized, is something that starts things going in a school setting. So thank you for that. Anybody else? Okay. It's on its way, don't worry.
Hi, hello. Oh, it's me. Okay.
Who's me?
Yeah, me. I'm Peter from V4 Sport Foundation, and just to share a quick thought with you, because I saw on the slide the future of moving schools awards, champion in each country, promotion to schools, movement of schools across Europe, this thing. And just to share this thought with you, here we came like 20 people from Poland. You see those ladies here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 3 gentlemen, 1, 2, 3, please stand up. And those people represent schools in Poland that we chose, that was 2 years ago, among 100 primary schools for our project, which is called Active Schools Multisport. And we just went for the journey with them for 1 year, and we had great fun together. These are active schools from Poland, champions, which we support, give them chance for promotion, and kids who are from those schools enjoyed many events that we helped them to hold throughout 1 or 2 years. So give them ovation. These are champions already.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't a question, sorry.
No, but
Actually,
that-
Jakub is going to have a presentation about, it means them also, so thank you very much.
I would just say that's absolutely fantastic. I'm delighted that all these schools from Poland are represented in the room. We really, really hope that as soon as the award is announced, you will go through the process and share the best practice that you are doing and become part of the Moving Schools Award movement. And then other schools in other countries can learn what you've been doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just had
Matt.
Hi guys. I'm a teacher from England and I helped give some feedback on the project, and I just wondered if you could give a little bit more detail on how best practice would be shared once it's been up and running. How will it be promoted? How will it be sort of highlighted to schools in Europe?
Really good question, and I don't think we have all the answers yet. We are looking at a very simple process for schools to go through an online journey through a website initially, just to find out where they are at and if they are ready by answering a few questions to apply for the award. If the feedback they get is that they're not, then there will be guidance provided for those schools as to how to get ready. The ones that do get the, yep, you're ready to go to the next stage, they will then get, as you know, a more detailed set of questions relating to the 3 dimensions of physical activity, physical education, and school sport. And they will be also asked to provide some evidence to support their answers. We don't want anybody cheating. When that has happened, there will be an evaluation, and then schools will get recognised in terms of whether they are receiving the award at an emerging level, at a developing level, or at a more advanced level. And that is when we will be looking to see how is it, through the champions in each country that we're looking to identify and working to recruit, we can start to do that close collaboration in terms of sharing of best practice. The exact details I can't give you as yet. You know, because you've been involved in the process, that this has been quite challenging. Your feedback's been really, really helpful. But absolutely, we want schools to be able to network and help each other with this.
And having seen the questions, I think it will be a brilliant idea when it's up and running. It will be really interesting to see the work done by champions in different countries and how we can share ideas and build on it.
I've already got my eye on you, Matt, as a champion in the UK.
Okay, we have another questions.
A question, given the kind of mental health issues of young children, do you see any merit in including, as well as the kind of physical aspects of meeting kind of motor skills and developmental skills, having some aspects of that, including mental health, mood?
It's a good question. If you go back to Claude's presentation, as things start to develop, mental and other aspects of health are going to be included in the development of that work. And certainly, we're establishing this award. And I think there's always the intention to take feedback and reflection to see if it's fit for purpose, and it's not just an award, it's an award that makes a difference for young people. And certainly mental health and well-being and social well-being as well are aspects that we need to consider. So it's a valid question. I think at this early stage we still have some thinking to do around that area.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, it seems like there's the end of the questions, and there's the end of this session. Thank you very much again.